The Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan is a constitutional monarchy ruled by King Abdullah II bin Hussein. The constitution grants the king ultimate executive and legislative authority. The multi-party parliament consists of a 130-member popularly elected House of Representatives Majlis al-Nawab, and a Senate, Majlis al-Ayan, appointed by the king. Elections for the House of Representatives occur approximately every 4 years and last took place in November 2020. Local non-governmental organizations reported some COVID-19 related disruptions during the election process, but assessed voting was generally free and fair. The Public Security Directorate has responsibility for law enforcement and reports to the Ministry of Interior. The Public Security Directorate and the General Intelligence Directorate share responsibility for maintaining internal security. The General Intelligence Directorate reports directly to the King. The Armed Forces report administratively to the Minister of Defense and have a support role for internal security. There is no separate Ministry of Defense. The Prime Minister also serves as Defense Minister. Civilian authorities maintained effective control over the security forces. There were credible reports that members of the security forces committed some abuses. Significant human rights issues included credible reports of torture and other cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment or punishment by government authorities, arbitrary arrest and detention, political prisoners or detainees, arbitrary or unlawful interference with privacy, serious restrictions on freedom of expression and media, including harassment and intimidation of journalists, unjustified arrests or prosecutions of journalists, censorship, and enforcement of and threat to enforce criminal libel laws, serious restrictions on internet freedom, substantial interference with the freedom of peaceful assembly and freedom of association, including overly restrictive laws on the organization, funding, or operation of non-governmental organizations and civil society organizations, inability of citizens to elect their executive branch of government or upper house of parliament, lack of investigation of and accountability for gender-based violence, including but not limited to domestic or intimate partner violence, sexual violence, and other harmful practices, violence or threats of violence targeting lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, or intersex persons, and significant restrictions on workers' freedom of association, including threats against labor activists. The government took some steps to investigate, prosecute, and punish officials who committed human rights abuses. However, government impunity for such abuses remained widespread. Information on the outcomes of these actions was not publicly available for all cases. The government took steps to identify, investigate, prosecute, and punish officials engaged in public corruption. Limited transparency during investigations and trials contributed to popular perceptions of impunity.